Right. Well, it's my second, and I'm very excited. And I want to bring you greetings. In fact, you know what? Let's do something fun. I went to college. Period. You went to college. Good, really. Thanks for sharing. I went to college with a guy named Chris White, and Chris White is my assistant director for Star Trek Continues, our new web series, which you better watch, or I'm going to make this guy go Super Saiyan on you. Right? But Chris White, the coolest thing about Chris, in addition to being my AD, is he's from Colombia. So, let's see, are we rolling? Yeah. Chris White is from Columbia, South Carolina. He told me to say something, and I can't remember what it was. Something about a game, a team, or something. That was it. Anyway, everybody, listen. Right now, Chris White is down at the studio directing today and tomorrow for Star Trek Continues while I came up here to see you. And he said, hey, you're going to my hometown. And I said, well, I'm going to have everybody say hello to you. So everybody say hi to Chris White. See? We love you, man. Okay. I'll get that done. Wow, this is so great. Guess what? You guys are stuck with me for 2 hours. Parents in the room, come on, let's go. Can't take this guy for 2 hours. Yeah, I always ask conventions if I can have a little more time, because we always run out of time at an hour, which is there are so many great questions and so many fun things to talk about. Fortunately, the people that run this event are good friends of mine, and they remembered me lying on the floor and crying at some time in the past, saying, why can't I have a longer panel? And so they let me have one. So make sure you write them and say, why did you give him a longer panel? Or you can say, thanks for giving him a longer panel. Let me see. Well, I have some things to take care of, first and foremost. Before we get into anything else, I want to make sure to tell you a couple of things. The video that I showed you a clip of, I'm really excited about, and I have to tell you about that. That's my brand new live concert DVD. It's got a lot of great music from a lot of good... Does anybody have it? Anybody in here? Do you like it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was a quote. Oh, yeah. I get that's good. And it's got a lot of great songs from different anime series, Full Metal, and Dragon Ball Z, Kai, and The Angel, and All Around High School, and a lot of original songs. But there's something else on it that you must know about. Get ready. Years ago, when we were still recording the first Full Metal Alchemist series, I started really nerding out about how awesome that show was. I had done probably 50 or 60 shows by that point, anime series, but there was really nothing that grabbed me the way Full Metal did. So I got this crazy idea where I wanted to cosplay as Ed. Don't get scared. And so I made up this really weird story where a grown man could start turning into an anime character. And then I asked some of the other voice actors in the show if they would like to cosplay as their characters as well. And so we got together and we made something called Full Metal Fantasy. How many of you have never seen Full Metal Fantasy? Okay, you guys, like I said, voice actors cosplaying as their characters. That's all you need to know. And I made this thing, and it really turned out great. And I started showing it at conventions. That's the only place you could ever see it. It wasn't online. It wasn't on any disc anywhere. You could buy it anywhere. It was a special thing just for conventions. And then for several years, I wasn't allowed to show it. Because when Brotherhood came out, they wanted me to kind of like, don't play it because it's illegal. It was one of those legal things, you know, where they were afraid that the Japanese company that owned Full Metal would somehow get mad that I had made some live action Full Metal thing. And I said, well, it's, you know, it's just for fun. I mean, I just love the show. How can that be a bad thing? And they're like, well, we understand, but we don't want to make anybody mad. So I didn't show it for a long time. And then about a year and a half ago, they gave me permission to start sharing it again. So when I decided to make the live concert DVD, I thought to myself, you know, when I do the concerts, I usually show Full Metal Fantasy in the concert. So maybe it's time to make it available to the fans. So Full Metal Fantasy is on the DVD, and it's pretty freaking funny. I think you'll enjoy it. I'm nowhere near short enough to play it, but I do my best. And I do it like this. Why did we turn off the lights? You just leaned against the lights back there, my brother. Better. Push the one at the very top. All the parents in the room, come on. Now we turn the lights out. This is not good. I'm harmless, I promise. Mostly. And anyway, so I put Full Metal Fantasy on the concert. There's another fun little bonus feature on there that I have to tell you about. Does anybody remember long before there was an American Idol, there was Star Search? Does anybody remember Star Search? Do you remember Star Search? Do you remember Star Search? Oh my gosh, I feel really old right now. Star Search was like the original big American talent competition. And what a lot of people don't know is that I was actually a contestant on Star Search, don't get scared, in 1993. Yeah, you're not watching it. No, you can't, because it's not there. I was a male vocalist challenger, and I sang a song that I wrote, and I lost. Oh, it's okay. I lost, but it was a really fun experience, but I wasn't really, how do I put it? I was kind of embarrassed I didn't think I did a very good job. So I buried the video. I mean, like, I never showed it to anybody, never put it online. The only people that saw it were the 4 million that saw it when it aired in 1993, before many of you were born. And so when I was thinking about what would be some fun bonus features to put on the concert DVD, somebody suggested that I put this on there. And I was like, oh, am I stupid enough to do that? Yes, I am. Clearly you know me well enough to know that I am. So that's on there as well. So it's a really, really fun DVD, and I'll have it at the autograph session right after our Q&A. So if you guys are interested, I'd love to sign it for you. Also, I have music CDs. A lot of you guys wrote me, and you said, are you going to be bringing your music CDs? For those of you that don't know, I've been writing and producing and singing music twice as long as I've been voice acting. And I've got several CDs with a lot of good music, instrumental, vocal. I would be honored for you guys to have some, and would be honored to sign it for you. I mean, you can get it on iTunes. They're available on iTunes, but I can't sign those, so this would be a great chance for me to say thank you by signing it. Can I sign it? Is there a way that you figured out? Are you a genius? Have you figured out a magic way that I can sign an iTunes purchase? Okay, so she will break that mystery, though. She'll figure it out. Probably one of the questions that will come up in the Q&A time is, what are you working on right now? Let's see. Oh, how many of you are watching the new Digimon series? I'm working on the new Digimon show. Let's see. Just finished recording a couple of new video games. You guys know Dynasty Warriors, and a few others that I can't remember the names of. And let's see. 3 or 4 anime series. Let's see. Wow. Lagrange, Nura. Like 5 or 6 new anime series. But there's one I'm dreaming of. Oh, I want to be in this show so badly. I'm ready to withdraw all of my savings and send it to whoever is casting this show. And maybe you can help me. I want to be in Attack on Titan so bad. It's true. It's true. I want to be in that so bad, you guys. I'm peeing my pants right now. I want to be in that. So here's, you know what? If you think that would be a good idea, then I want you to go on Funimation's website and say, OMG! I would love to see Vic in Attack on Titan. If you hate me and you don't want me in it, don't post anything. Don't get on there and go, he's a jerk, don't let him be in it. But I'm really excited about it, and every time I see somebody walk by with an Attack on Titan uniform costume, I'm like, oh. It was bought, a cosplay, in the dealer's room. When we were in there, I walked by a rack that had one of the jackets, and I was like, that would fit me. No, keep going. So, that's how that went. Okay, let's talk about stuff you want to talk about. I've got some fun DVDs. Every once in a while, something will come to mind that I may want to share with you in the course of our panel. And the good news is we have plenty of time to do that. So, oh my gosh, like if there's a bottle of water somewhere. Who's going to start us with a good question? Anybody? Yes, ma'am.
And Italian boys, why do you say that you don't know the language?
In Italian Boys, a song that I wrote about being Italian, my grandma always used to tell me...
Learn.
Sorry?
The easiest European language learn.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you Cruella de Vil?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love Cruella de Vil. Actually, I love Dalmatians, but, you know, by association, I love you. Cruella de Vil, Cruella de Vil. I love that. Anyway, I wrote this song that's on one of my CDs called Italian Boys, and I have to tell you the story. I always wrote love songs. It's just like, that's what I enjoyed writing. And one day somebody said, you always write these sad love songs. You should write something fun. And I was like, yeah, I should. So I put together a song that was intended to be a lighthearted, fun kind of story song about when I was a little boy, how my grandma Mignogna, who came right over on the boat, I mean like first generation immigrant, used to tell me ever since I was very young how proud I should be to be Italian. She would brag about it, you know. She would spout off all this stuff in Italian, and I loved it so much, but I didn't ever learn to speak it fluently. And so there's a line in the song where I say, I never learned the language, but this is what my grandmother was saying, translated, and then I would translate it. But thank you for asking about that. You're very sweet. Yes?
Can you do a zero line for me, please?
What zero line would you like? A naughty version. And the parents leave again. A naughty zero version. Well, let's see, you know, my idea of naughty and your idea of naughty may be very different. What would you suggest as a naughty zero line?
I would do anything that would... Oh.
You should feel her right now. She's shaking so much.
Zero's love interest, how he's telling Yuki how he loves her, basically.
You think that's naughty? I think that's sweet. Do you want me to prove this, my love for you? question? Yes. Say that again. Uta no persona. Ooh, I like that. Is there a song involved? What? Oh, really? Yes. Keep going, hurry. He's in it. He's in it. Okay, here's the question for you. We're going to switch it around now, and I'm going to ask you a question. Has anyone licensed it yet? Have you been like, sometimes you go online and you can find out an American company that's licensed something? Because I will camp out on their door. I'll do it. I'm not afraid. More than life itself. One of my favorite moments in my anime career was when Funimation asked me to sing the One Piece theme song. And then, because I was like, for years and years, I've been singing and writing music, and yet, and doing anime, and yet never the two ever met. And I thought, wow, as much work as I do in anime and voice acting, I would love to do something musically. So I sang the One Piece theme, and then I did a second One Piece theme, and then a third One Piece theme, and then I did the Dragon Ball Z Kai, and I did Dragon Ball GT, and then of course you guys know about Oron and the Brothers theme from Full Metal, and so I really was very excited to get to do music with the anime work. Yes. How do I do all those voices? I don't really. This girl really does them. No, you know what, you guys? There are some people out there that are extremely talented in changing their voice. I'm not one of them. But I always tell people this. Voice acting is not about changing your voice. It's about playing a character, right? Name a famous actor that you like. Christian Bale. Christian Bale has played a lot of different characters, right? And with the exception of Batman, he usually sounds the same, right? Yes. Because the goal is not to change your voice with every character you play. The goal is to play the character honestly. And most actors, they sound like themselves, but they're just playing a different character. That's kind of the way it is with me and with a lot of voice actors. I have a little bit of versatility when it comes to my voice, but to me it's much more about playing a character. So if you were to pull one phrase from Tamaki and one phrase from Zero, or one phrase from Kurt Weber in Full Metal Panic, and you would put them all together and listen to them side by side, you'd be like, oh, that's the same guy. It's the same guy. It sounds exactly the same. But the characters are very different. Those characters. So if you watch each of those shows, the character is very unique. So the goal is never to change your voice as much as it is just to play the character honestly. So thank you for asking. I wish I had more versatility. I love to do a lot of different characters. But you know what? If I think I can do like an old man, maybe I can. But why not just cast an old man? Right? Why not just cast an old guy to play an old guy instead of having some young guy try to pretend to be an old guy? So it sometimes gets tricky to get to play characters that are very, very different than your own vocal style. I'll give you guys a little term even that you can use, you can throw around, make your friends think you're all smart about, expert in voice acting. When they talk about voices that are your wheelhouse, what voices do you have in your wheelhouse? In other words, the default voice. What do you think mine is? It's kind of a young hero, right? It's a young hero. That's my wheelhouse. That's one of the voices in my wheelhouse. Maybe it's a bit of the romantic character, right? That might be in my wheelhouse. But like grumpy old man, not in my wheelhouse. 10-year-old boy, not in my wheelhouse. You know what I mean? Certain things that are just, I might be able to pull them off, but they're not in my wheelhouse. They're not the default things that when you're casting a show, you immediately think, oh, this guy would be good for this. Question? Yes? I did say that. Well, wouldn't it be nice to play Aaron? Yes.
That would be awesome.
I would love it. You guys, I think Funimation is a big company that prides itself in listening to the fans. So I remember about a year ago, I started getting all of these emails. I don't know why. It was just a quick flurry of them for a month or two, asking me if I was going to play Tuxedo Mask in Sailor Moon. I would like it. I would play Sailor Moon. Just to be in Sailor Moon. You know what I mean? That's iconic, right? That's like being Pokemon, or Yu-Gi-Oh, or Sonic. You know what I mean? It's iconic. So I would love on the forums. So and let the Funimation people that regulate, watch, and read all the stuff that you guys write, tell them to post it there. So when Attack on Titan came, I thought, well, you know what? I'm certainly going to let people know that if they write me and say, are you going to be in this, or we'd love for you to be in this, just encourage them to go and make a post. I would love it. And you know what, you guys? I'll tell you something. It's not about money at all to me. I love what I do. I cannot express to you how much I love what I do. I just enjoy what I get to do. And, it doesn't pay very much. I can let you in on that little secret. But it doesn't matter, really, because I really enjoy it. So it's not like, oh, Vic's just trying to make more money. No, not really. I promise you, it's not that. Yes, my dear. Yes, you. Hi.
Hello. What do you think it would be like if Ed was a pony?
What would it be like if Ed was a pony? You mean like a My Little Pony? I think Ed would be happy to be a My Little Pony as long as you omit the word little. Ed would be a not as big as some other ponies. Just don't say the other word. Yes, my dear. What's your favorite Pokemon? What's my favorite Pokemon? Oh, this is an easy question to answer. My favorite Pokemon is actually a Pokemon that looks like a My Little Pony. And his name is Keldeo.
Brothers my whole life, Pokemon, knowing all that, but I only.
Okay, I want you to check out Keldeo, because he's adorable. Okay, that was a shameless plug. I play Keldeo. There. Do it. But it was my chance to be a Pokemon, right? So I'm excited. Yes.
If you could cosplay another voice act, whatever, if you could do another character from Malcolm that wasn't Edward, who would it be?
You know, as much as I make fun of Roy Mustang, if Travis Willingham was not amazing and was not a part of that, I would love to. I think that's a great character. I think Mustang was a great character. I would love to have played him. Yes, sir. Yeah.
What qualities and personality traits do you feel like you share with all of the characters that you play in the house?
Well, we all breathe oxygen. And that's where it stops, pretty much. There are some characters that I've done that I feel very close to. I feel like I have a lot in common. There are some characters that I wish I had something in common with. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I were as smooth as Tamaki. Unfortunately, I'm not. I wish I could do, alchemy. Of course I can't. I wish I had purple hair, like Dark Mousy. Of course I don't. Whatever. But there are some characters that I've certainly felt a lot more connection with. You guys probably, please stop me if I told you the story. The story about Tom McKee, you guys know about Tom McKee? No. Don't lie. Tell me the truth, because I don't want to waste your time. Have I told you the story? Okay. No. Caitlin Glass, who played Haruhi and directed the English dub, called me one day, years before there was the dub. Months before the show was even licensed by Funimation. In other words, there wasn't any studio lined up to dub it yet. She called me one day and she said, "Oh my gosh, you should totally check out this show. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I love this show so much. And there's this character, it's you. He doesn't remind me of you, he's you." So I'm all intrigued to see what Caitlin thinks I am, right? So she gave me a disc with like the first 3 episodes of Laura in High School as well. And as soon as Tom McKee came and he's beating all, ooh, what if I let you drink it from my mouth, right? And I'm thinking, yeah! Caitlin wants me. I'm thinking, yeah, Caitlin thinks I'm awesome. She thinks I'm smooth and romantic and attractive and funny and smart. And then, the next thing I know, Tomoki's in the corner in a ball crying. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute! Which one is it? Which one's me? But here's the big problem. From watching those 3 episodes, I fell in love with this show. I fell in love with Oran. I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And that's a bad idea. You know why? Because it hadn't been licensed yet. Which means there's no guarantee, there's not even hardly a chance or a probability that you would get to play a role in it. Had that show been licensed in Canada, no American voice actors would be in it. If it were licensed in LA, and I was living in Houston, would be in it. But as luck would have it, Funimation licensed it a short time later. But even then, you're not cast. You just happen to work for the company that now has the license. That doesn't mean a great deal. So I auditioned for it, and I loved Tomoki so much, and I wanted to play that role so bad. And Caitlin knew it. And at first you would think I would be a shoo-in, right? Because Caitlin already told me, right? You might be thinking, well, as soon as Caitlin was chosen to direct it, you must have thought I'm in, because Caitlin already told you that she thought you'd be a perfect Tomoki. Well, you'd think so. But there's something about Oran that you have to take into account. It's an ensemble, which means that everybody the voices need to kind of work together. So Caitlin, now having the responsibility of casting it as best she couldn't just throw each person into a role that she wanted. They needed to work together sonically and personality-wise with the whole ensemble. So when I went into audition for it, Caitlin knew how bad I wanted to play Tomoki, but she's like, no guarantees, I can't promise anything. I'm going to do what's best for the show. And I was like, I'm not going to get it. And so you can imagine how elated I was when she called me and told me that I was going to get to play him. But it was scary, because you don't want to do that. You don't want to fall in love with something before there's ever a chance that you might get to do it, because you get your hopes all up and then you're dashed to the floor, right? So, which happens, which just may happen with Attack on Titan. You get all excited about something, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't. And that's part of our career, by the way. That's part of what we do. I audition for a lot of things that I don't get to be a part of. That's just the nature. It's just the nature of our business. Yes, my Super Saiyan friend.
Out of all the three Broly movies, which one do you enjoy the most?
I enjoy the ones that he actually talks. Being a voice actor, call me strange, but I like to talk as a voice actor. I mean, the first one, movie 8, he actually talks. I mean, sure, there are plenty of Kakarot's to go around, but he actually talks. He says stuff, you know. But then by the second one, he's nothing but Kakarot's. And by the third one, he can't even form speech. He's just a pile of jello who moans and, you know what I mean, and growls and stuff. So, I wonder how many, it would be interesting to know how many times I've said Kakarot. That would be really funny.
Can you say it right now?
What?
Can you say it right now?
No. No, I vowed I would not ever do Broly outside of a video game recording or a Dragon Ball recording because he is a throat ripper, you guys. I mean, you hear what I sound like, right? I mean, Edward Elric does not sound like Broly. They're like the opposite. Like Broly could step on Ed and not realize, right? He could have little baby alchemist between his toes and not know. But no, he hurts. He hurts a lot. Whenever I record Dragon Ball video games, we really space it out because if you do too much of that yelling and stuff, it really rips you out. Question? Yes, in the back, my pirate friend.
Have any of the Japanese studios ever contacted you asking you to do dubbing over there?
I am so glad you asked. Last fall, I went to Tokyo to play a role in a brand new developing project called an e-manga. It's freaking cool, you guys. They take these manga and they turn them into like an electronic comic book. You would download it to your iPad or your iPhone, whatever, iPod, and you read the manga. But the cool thing is it has recorded voices with it. And even cooler, at the push of a button, you can switch from Japanese to English. How cool is that? So we actually recorded with the Japanese actors, and what a great tool to even learn Japanese, right? Because like you can hear a line and then you can click the button and instantaneously you can hear that line in Japanese or in English. So the first one that I did is one called Rainy Cocoa. And I play this character. I'm not sure if it's even out yet, but we recorded it last fall. And I actually sang the theme song to another e-manga. I wrote and recorded the theme song to another one. So thank you for asking. I don't get to do that much, but I did get to do it then. That was very cool. Yes, me.
Okay, well, I have a comment. The animation Sama has been licensed by Sentai, and when you get
Sentai! Wait a minute, I can work for them. Sentai is actually in Houston. That's right. I will. When was it licensed, did you say?
I don't know, but it's set for release in January.
Stop!
That's not a good sign. Really? Okay, I'll write myself a note. Call Sentai and beg. I think I'm kidding you, don't you? Okay, wait, right? I'm going to send myself an email. Call Sentai and beg. Okay. And did you have a question, Donna?
When you did voices for two actors who were twins in Vampire Night, was it easy or difficult to make sure you didn't like switch over from like one kind of voice sounding inflection to another?
Great question. That was one of my favorite parts of Vampire Night, was getting to play the two brothers. That's like an actor's dream, is to get to play characters that actually interact with each other. Now, we didn't record them at the same time, though. What we did was you record like all of 0, and then you go back and record all of each of them for precisely that reason, so that you don't like get them mixed up, and you can keep them separate in there. And again, you know, there was a perfect example. The voices, it wasn't so much that the voices were different, as much as it was the personality of the characters were different. So that was a perfect example. But I enjoyed it very, very much. In fact, you guys, when they called me and told me that I was going to be playing 0, they left a voicemail on my phone, and it said, "Congratulations, you're going to be playing 0 and Ichiru." And I went, "Woohoo! I'm getting to play 0! Who's Ichiru?" I didn't even know there was an Ichiru. I didn't even know we had a brother. So I was especially excited about that. Yes, in the back corner. What's the funniest thing I've ever recorded in the studio? Okay, it used to be Oron, but I have to tell you, and let me now make a shameless plug. There is a show that I recorded in Funimation last year that I absolutely love. It is so nutty and wacky and crazy, and I had more fun. I mean, I had the most fun since Oron. It's called Level E. You have got, wait a minute, what was that?
It's literally the funniest thing ever.
There you go, see, she's brilliant. So, you guys, it is really a fun show. The director cast me without even auditioning me, which is very rare. And when he cast me, he told me something that every actor dreams of hearing. You know what it was? You can do whatever you want. Right? I mean, who gets to do that? And I was like, no, let's clarify a minute. What do we mean, whatever what do you mean? And he said, anything. Change your voice, use an accent, impersonate somebody, whatever you want. Sky's the limit. I didn't think he was really serious. And then we got started recording, and we came to the first moment where I thought, okay, I want to do something weird here. And I said, can I do Yoda? And I thought for sure he was going to go, well, let's not be crazy, dude, no. He was leaning back in his chair in the control room. He goes, sure. So I did Yoda. And then the next thing you know, we come up with another line. I go, can I do Captain Kirk? I do Captain Kirk?
Yeah.
Yes. Really? Then the next thing I know, my character is having a conversation with this little Japanese girl, and he's recounting the conversation. And I said, can I do it in a Japanese girl? He said, yes, sure. I'm like, okay. So anything I thought of, he would let me do it.
Oh my God.
Right? So you have to check it out. Level E. His character's name is Prince Baka. Clearly, we have people who understand the translation of that word. Yes. Yeah.
Would you please put the coffee stand on high school?
What I need to... I wondered, it was just a matter of time, wasn't it? Before we did the coffee line.
You're lucky to have a mini skirt.
Oh, that's empty coffee, I think. But I think she wants me to do it with her. Can you turn the mic up a little bit for me, boss? Is he still over there? Hi. I think it's channel 3 or 4. Look at the little light blinking over top of the channel that shows activity. See it? Check, check, check. There it is, yes. Ready? What's your name?
Emily.
Emily, do you know your lines? Oh, wait, do you know? Okay, she knows them. I'm trying to do them yet. Because we're not performing. Everybody's got to see you do it. This is Emily, everybody. Ready? I'm going to give you your lead in, just like the voice actor. You ready? Let's try again. Ready? I know, it's okay. Don't be nervous. You're among friends. Do it.
coffee, my father might get angry with me.
But what if I let you drink it from my mouth? Yay, give it up for everything! Any parents that did not yet leave are now leaving. Yes.
Have you yelled or shouted at any rockers?
You know what? I saw Amaka outside and I broke my own rule and did not yell at her. I feel really bad about it. I regret it.
You can yell at me.
Wait a minute. Wait! Wait! I sense a presence. I'm following my fatherly instincts. Somewhere. No. Mama! There she is. Your dad loves you. Yes, sir.
What's the funniest thing that's ever happened during a recording?
During a recording didn't happen to me. That's a... Aaron Dismuke tells some really funny stories about when he was recording and he was, 12 years old at the time, so funny things are going to happen. Funny things. Do you guys remember, has anyone in here seen a show called Air? No? Dang, it's a great show. It's just a beautiful show. So beautiful. The animation's beautiful. The music's beautiful. It's a great story. But I play this homeless guy. Yukito, yes. So, I know this is going to be really dumb, but we were recording one day, and Yukito was climbing up a hill. There was somebody at the top of the hill, and he would reach out, and this person at the top of the hill pulled him to help him get up the hill. So we had to record a little effort like this. Right? Just that little bit of effort as he's climbing up the hill. I don't know what was going on in my mind this day. But we're recording, and all I'm supposed to do is go, and I go like this. Just starts cracking up, and I start laughing. And then the engineer starts laughing, and we couldn't record it. Every time I go to do this, we just start laughing. I couldn't even go. And then for the whole rest of the afternoon, Yukito would sit down and go, and we just started putting in fart noises everywhere. And then it hit me. Of course, that's perfect because the show is called Air. Right? That was fun. Yes. All the way in the back. My dear Taylor, yes. You want to give me a gift? You want to give me a gift, sweetie? Okay. Bring it up here. Let me see. What is it? What is this, Kaylin?
Well, you're one of my favorite voice actors, so I want to give you something.
Oh, thank you so Oh, sweetheart. Thank you. Did you draw this? Thank you. You guys are the sweetest things. Can I tell you guys something? I have a room in my house that is completely devoted to gifts. And it's like this high. And I will never cease to be really, really humbled and honored when you guys take the time to do something like that. I don't expect it. I get these emails from people that will say, I'm coming to see you at such and such a convention, and I'm sorry that I won't be bringing you anything. And I'm like, where did you get the idea you have to bring me anything at all, ever? All you need to bring is you. you know? And I don't really know why they think that sometimes, but they don't need to. You guys, your kindness to me and your support and enthusiasm for the work that I do, that is more than gift enough. So don't anyone ever feel like you need to do anything. But I love those things, and thank you so much for that, Caleb. Thank you. Choose this girl's question or she dies. Well, oh, so you put a gun to her head. What's wrong with this picture? I've been watching too many video games. This is the way to make someone happy. Yes.
I've been wanting to ask you this for a while. Can you propose to me as Ed? This is wondering.
Propose to you as Ed? I would like to apologize to whatever parents were still in the room. You know, I did this once, didn't I? Did you ever see that? It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
I was at a convention with Caitlin, who plays Winry, and I can't even remember. It was MegaCon in Orlando, and I did this weird little proposal
It was fun.
to Winry.
But you don't have reason pointing gun at you.
That's true. Of course, it is an orange gun, so how serious can you possibly take it? This gun is real. Never mind, it's fuchsia. What's your name? Oh no, what is your name? Savannah. Well, for this moment in time, you're Winry, right? Winry? Wow, you're tall. This is really awkward. I know we've been friends for a long time, and I know that I sometimes take you for granted. Actually, it's all Al's fault. But anyway, what I wanted to say was, I can't think of anybody I would rather have fix my automaker than you. So cute. Will you be my wife, alchemist? Good question. People often ask about which do you prefer, Full Metal or Full Metal Brotherhood? The first one or the second one? I will be honest with you guys and tell you I really don't differentiate between the two. For me, I mean, I know they're two completely separate series, but I have a unique perspective, right? Because I got to play Ed, and when we started the new series, when we started Brotherhood, the first thing that came into my mind was, this is so cool. Ed gets to meet new people and have new adventures and wear new clothes and go to new places. So to me, you could have named it The Further Adventures of the Full Metal Alchemist. You know what I mean? It was a continuation of getting to play this character again. And the characters that showed up like Ling and oh gosh, what was Armstrong's? Olivier, yeah, and I mean so many great new characters that were in Brotherhood. May, yes, and I mean just great characters, wonderful characters. And so for me, it was like just a continuation, getting to continue the original series. Having said that, I know that a lot of people like Brotherhood better because it was a little more intense, a little more, involved. And I can appreciate that, and it was a great series. However, for me, again, the original has a place in my heart that could never be replaced because it was my first, you know what I mean? It was my first experience with Full Metal Alchemist. So it's extremely special for that reason. So that's a good problem to have, isn't it? That both series are so cool that it's hard to decide which one you like better. Usually, you know, with sequels or follow-up series, there's one that's like blows the other one away. Like the first one is usually amazing, and the second one not so much. Like movies, like sequels and stuff. But Full Metal was an exception. The Big Brotherhood series was as good, and most people think even a little better than the original. Stein?
I'd like to do a quote with you if you don't mind.
You'd like to do a quote?
Yes, please.
Sure, absolutely. Sure.
If you wouldn't mind if I started off.
If I wouldn't mind by starting off,
If you wouldn't mind if I started off.
oh, I would be happy for you to start off because I have no idea what I'm supposed to do.
I would have rolled up front with my chairs outside.
Oh, no worries.
Spirit, I just want you to know, while you're up here, I switched your middle toes.
My favorite part.
You're not on the chair.
You want to say something?
Usually you freak out.
Is this improv? Are we improv? So did I freak out?
You did. You freaked out, kicked off your shoes, and we're searching.
You kept checking.
Did I say anything?
You were screaming, "Ah, why would you do that? No, please!"
So something like, ah, why would you do that? Something like that? You know what, you guys? Here's one of the downsides of doing a lot of different characters. You forget.
Yeah.
You know what? If you do a theater show, you learn your lines, right? You memorize the lines, which means you may have those things in your brain for years. I still remember some lines from shows from theater plays that I did years ago, because you memorized them. But when you're doing anime, you don't have to memorize because you're in a booth and you have the script in front of you. That's cool, except for one very important thing. If you do it right the first time, you don't ever have to say it again. And you move on to a new thing. And for me, Soul Eater was probably 30 anime series ago. So it's really, you know how I remember all the best lines? You guys. I remember all of the best lines because you guys tell me the lines that you liked, and I make like a mental note. And then like the coffee line, I didn't remember saying that until the first time somebody said, will you do the coffee line with me? I'm like, sure. What's the coffee line? And I say, I'm sorry, I should drink the coffee, I was wrong about your mouth. And you say, and I so I did it the first time. And then the next convention, somebody asked me to do it again. And so I started remembering. And a lot of lines from Ed, and Tamaki, and Zero, and that kind of stuff I remember because you guys have let me know some of the lines that you enjoyed. So, yes. Her friend's helping her be taller than anyone else so that so I can see her. Yes.
What's your favorite?
I saw you outside, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you do your favorite part from the
My favorite part from Oran?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, sweetheart, there are way too many cool parts in Oran that I love. What was your favorite? Right? See?
With the cookie scene, with Tamaki
Tamaki freaking out? That doesn't sound familiar at all. He never freaks out. Who are we talking about? I'm talking about Maury. Maury freaks out all the time. Tamaki never freaks out. Tamaki is cool and smooth all the time. Oh. That was one of the 100 times that he freaked out. You know what? I could never pick a favorite. I could never pick a favorite moment in Oran. There were so many things that I loved about that show. In fact, I used to sorry, Star Trek business. I used to purposefully mess up lines so that I could do it again because I didn't want it to end. You know, like I wanted to stretch out the experience as long as I could. You know, so you know, I would always ask if I could do a line over Like you'd do it the first time, and Kate would be like, "That was great. Let's go to the next line." And I'd be like, "Can I do it again?" And she's like, "No, it was fine." I said, "Yeah, but I want to do it again. Can I just want more? I have a different idea." And so I tried to make it last as long as possible. I love that show. It's one of my favorite shows ever. Yes. Sure. Go ahead and get her on the line and tell me when you got her. Yes.
Were there any lines in Full Metal that you had a problem saying or didn't feel comfortable saying?
For instance?
A lot of the religion-based ones, or any of the ones where you hit the hard truths to like Rose in the beginning.
I love those kind of questions. Hold on one second. See, even when I'm gone. What? What'd you say? That's a great question. The answer is no, but let me qualify the answer. I didn't have a problem saying things like, "We're the closest things to gods there are," which is kind of an arrogant thing to say, right? But I didn't have a problem saying it because of one very important point. It was Ed saying it. It wasn't me. You know what I mean? A lot of people often confuse the actor with the character. You know, I mean, the Star Trek people used to go to conventions all the time, and fans would call them by their name, by their character name. Be like, "It's so nice to meet you, Captain Kirk." You know, and "I'm William Shatner. I'm not Captain Kirk, just character I play." You know what I mean? Or Jonathan Frakes, they call him Commander Riker. You know what I mean? I was there when that happened. It was hilarious. But the different characters that I play. Sorry, work never sleeps. Different characters that I play are not like me at all. If the only characters I ever played were people that were just like me, I wouldn't get to play many characters, would I? That's the point of acting. I mean, that's what acting is. It's portraying a role that is not you. So I enjoy those kind of characters. I have no problem playing them. I really enjoy the scenes with Rose, and some of the things that Ed had to say, because they were consistent with what he felt and what he believed. And Ed's a very damaged kid. And he's a tragic character to have lost so much. I mean, you naturally shake your fist at the heavens. If you lose, if your dad runs off when you're little, and your mom dies when you're 10 or 11 years old, you know what I mean? And you have and you almost lose your only brother. I mean, and you kind of have to dismember yourself in the process. I mean, there's a lot of anger probably in somebody like that. Maybe even somebody in your life who's had a lot of loss. And they're angry, they're hurt, they don't understand, And they certainly don't want to hear, they're just mad. Why did this happen to me? Why was this taken away? I don't get it, I don't understand. So I appreciate playing a character like that. It's not me, and so I don't have a problem doing the lines. But I do appreciate the chance to play characters like that. Yes. Huh? Dark. Wow. That was a long time ago. I'm so glad that Dean Angel is not dead. And now, what is your name? Courtney. Okay, this is for you with your pretty blue hair. Turn around from here. Let me have your hair. Courtney. I don't know what to go on my date. Okay, I think somebody's on the phone, aren't they? Now, what is her name? Jasmine. Nope. that's a good question. Hold on. There have been several, and you never expect that, because as a voice actor, you don't expect to ever be recognized anywhere. But there have been a couple of fun experiences. One was I took my friend Jeff and his wife to Benihana for his birthday. We went to a birthday dinner at Benihana in Dallas, and we got done eating, and I gave the girl my credit card, and she took it back in the back to run the credit card, and then I looked over and she was peeking out the door, and I didn't know why. She's just like looking out the door, and then like a minute later there were 3 of them looking out the door. These adorable little Japanese waitresses. They were so adorable, and they're looking out the door, and then finally she comes to the table with, and I was like, oh, thank you. And suddenly I look at all these, come running out the door. All these other little waitresses at Benihana come running out the door. There was another time I was at the Seattle airport. Seattle, Washington. And I was going through the airport, and I stopped to get like a cup of coffee at like one of the places that sells something. And I'm standing at the counter, and the guy said, what would you like? This young guy, probably 19, 20. He said, what would you like? And I said, let me have a cup of coffee. Let's see, like a medium, blah, blah, blah. And I just placed my order, and he's just standing there like this. And finally, when I finished placing the order, he goes, are you Vic Mignogna? And it was it was really quite a throw, you know what I mean? Because you would never expect that. And then just a few weeks ago, are you still there? Good, don't hang up. A few weeks ago, I was having trouble with my AT&T service. So I call AT&T, right? Hello, this is Thomas, AT&T. How may I help you? And I'm like, hi, Thomas. I'm having some trouble with such and such, and I need you to check something out for me. And he's like, all right, your name, please. I'm like, let me up your phone number. I gave my number, and he goes, hey, what's your name? And I said, Vic Mignogna. And there was this like 5 or 6 seconds of silence. And then I go, Thomas, are you there? He goes, oh my God. And I'm like, Thomas, are you okay? He goes, yes, sir. I'm a big fan of yours. Hey, what are the odds, right? You get some AT&T guy, right? And come to find out that he was based in like Kentucky, and the following weekend I was going to be at a convention in Louisville, Kentucky, and he and his wife came to the convention. To see another in person. So, there's the answer to your questions. I love you. So, yeah, those are some funny things. You don't expect that kind of thing. It's always really kind of fun. Yes?
On average, how long are you in a recording studio to do voice acting for a single episode?
Well, there are many variables in how long you're in the studio to record a particular episode. The biggest variable, of course, is how many lines are there, right? And then another variable would be, are they on-screen or off-screen lines? That's huge. A voice actor's favorite 3 letters are M, N, S. Mouth not seen. That means you don't have to match the mouth movements in character. which means you have a great deal of freedom. In fact, whenever I see those, I'll usually tell the director, let's just try one. We don't even need to see it. We don't even need to rehearse. Maybe we'll get lucky, and we won't cut down on time. A lot of times, if it's something like that, if it's a reaction noise, if the script says character pushes up off the ground, jumps off the ground, I have a pretty good idea what that would be, right? Right? So we don't have to watch that. Now, there's always a chance that I would go, and the guy's just jumping very small. So what I did was too big. The reaction was too big. So we have to do it again. But a lot of times with mouth-to-mouth scene lines, or what they call exertions, like exert noises, like when you pick something up, or you just little sounds, or whatever, sighs, any of those kind of things that are like not actual words, you can get through those pretty quickly too. But it really depends on what kind of how many lines you've got and what kind of lines they are. If your character's on screen and you've got a lot of talking to do, obviously it takes longer to make it all match really well and to give a good performance than it would if your character was off screen, or if your character has a mask. So you don't see his voice, you don't see his mouth moving, and the actor has a great deal of flexibility with that.